Hello my lovelies. Well, that completes Folktale week. I just thought I'd go through all of the pictures I have done for this particular prompt session for Folktale week. It was a 7-day challenge, and it was to pick a folk tale of your choice, or as many folk tales as you wanted actually, but I chose to home in on one, which was the Firebird. And so the first prompt was the Fool, and so for my Fool we have Prince Ivan, who is the son of a rich Tsar, and he doesn't make the best choices, to be honest, so that kind of made him the fool in this particular story. Now his father has a tree in his very extensive garden, and it is the golden apple tree. He's very, very precious about this, and wouldn't let anybody touch it. It's his beauty, his pride and delight. But one day he finds that one of the apples has been stolen, so he sets his sons to work trying to look out for the particular thief who may have got the apple. Eldest son went out to sit and fell asleep basically, so did his second son, but Prince Ivan said, I want to have a go, and they all laughed at him basically and said, I don't think you're going to get anywhere, to be honest. But he said, please, just let me have a go. And he did, and he managed to stay awake, and he saw the most beautiful bird in the middle of the night coming down to steal one of the apples. He jumped up and tried to catch the bird, but all he managed to grab was one of its tail feathers, and it flew away into the night. So his father then set a quest. He'd seen the feather of the bird, and then he wanted the bird, obviously. So the eldest son and the middle son went out to try and find it, but they came across a path that gave them 3 choices, and they couldn't decide which one to take, so they went somewhere else and didn't even follow the challenge. When they didn't return, Ivan said again to his father, let me go, I can do this. And his father was very dubious, obviously, but he had managed to grab the feather, which is more than the other brothers had got. And so he sent him out to try and track down the golden bird. Ivan then went into the forest, and he came across a signpost. It had 3 different roads that he could take. So the first road was, if you follow this path, you will suffer cold and anguish and hunger. The second path was, if you follow this path, your horse will survive, but you will not. And the third path was, if you follow this path, you will survive, but your horse will not. Well, obviously he's a lot cleverer than everybody thinks, because he chose the third path. He didn't want to suffer the anguish and the hunger and the cold. And sadly, his horse was the one who had to go. And when it came to it, they came into a path of a grey silver wolf. And the wolf ate his horse in 2 bites, literally jumped on it, ate his horse. And then he was filled with remorse. The wolf said, I'm really sorry, I was so hungry, I had to eat your horse, I'm really, really sorry. And Ivan said, well, how am I going to get the Firebird now? And the wolf said, well, if you jump on my back, I will, in repayment, I will take you to the Firebird. So the wolf took him to the castle where the Firebird was kept. He was a prized possession of a king. And the wolf gave Ivan directions on how to get to the Firebird, but told him specifically, don't touch the cage. If you touch the cage, all heck will break loose and things will not go as planned. Well, obviously Ivan went in there and he saw where the Firebird was, and the cage was so beautiful. He thought, oh, just have to touch it, and he didn't take any notice. That's why he's the fool. that brought about all the king's men and everything, and they all came and arrested him, and then they said to him, why are you trying to steal the bird? And he said, well, my father has tasked me because the bird has been stealing apples from our tree, and now I've been tasked with the idea of bringing back the Firebird for my father. And the king said, well, you were following your father's wishes, I can see that. He said, but if you can do one thing for me, if you can go and find the magic golden horse, I will give you the Firebird in exchange for the horse. So he let Ivan go. Ivan went back to the wolf and said, the wolf said, don't tell me. You touched a cage, didn't you? And he said, yes, I did. And now I've got to go and find the golden horse. The wolf sighed and said, jump on my back. I will take you to find the golden horse. Then we can come back, claim the Firebird, and you can get back to your father. So he jumped back onto the wolf's back, galloped off, and he came to another kingdom, and the wolf gave him instructions again, sensible wolf, but don't touch the bridle. Do not touch the bridle and the saddle. Please don't. Anyway, Ivan, again, silly, went in. He got the horse by the reins, but he really wanted that saddle and bridle. He really wanted to touch it. Just, it was beautiful. It was jewels and gold and absolutely stunning. So he touched it, obviously. Again, all heck broke loose. The king's men came and arrested him, took him down again. And the king said to him, why are you trying to steal my horse? So Ivan recounted the tale of the Firebird and how the owner of the Firebird would give him the Firebird if he could get the horse. So the king said, I can see that you were following instructions, which makes you a very good son, but do you know what? If you can go and get me the Princess Helena from a neighbouring kingdom, I'll give you my horse. Ivan went back to the wolf and he said, you'll never guess what. And the wolf said, do you know what? I think I might guess. You touched the bridle, didn't you? And he said, yes, I did. And now I've got another task. I've got to go and find the Princess Helena and bring her back, so that then the king will give me the golden horse, and I can take the golden horse back to the other king, who will give me the Firebird, which I can then take back to my father. Wolf said, okay, I will take you to the Princess Helena, but this time you are not going to be going anywhere near her. I am going to be going in to get her. Otherwise, we're going to be doing this all day, or all year, or however long it takes. You just keep getting tasks. So they galloped off to where the Princess Helena was kept, and she's very beautiful, absolutely stunning. So Ivan hid, and the prince went in. The wolf went in, and he came back carrying the Princess Helena very gently in his mouth. And he set her down and he said, okay, you guys, both of you jump on my back. I'm going to have to take you really quickly to the king before anybody else tries to find or finds out that she's missing. So they jumped on his back. He galloped off, took them back to the kingdom where the magic horse was kept. And by the time they got there, Prince Ivan and Princess Helena had fallen in love, and there was no way that Ivan was going to let her go to be the king. So the wolf, being very clever as he was also a shape changer, and he said, you know what? He said, I will pretend to be Helena. I'll change my shape. I will be Helena. You take me to Helena's to the king who wants Helena, and I will stand in her stead. And then you two have to try and hide yourselves away, and I will escape and come back, pick you up and take you back to pick up the Firebird. So Ivan took the wolf, who was disguised as the princess, into the king in exchange for the golden horse. He took the golden horse out to the forest where Helena was hidden, and Helena and Ivan jumped on the back of the horse and galloped off away and then hid. About an hour later, the wolf came running up and said, okay, we've got to go. Follow me and we'll go back to where the Firebird's kept. So they went off, and then they went to the king who had the Firebird, and they exchanged the horse for the Firebird. And then they jumped onto the wolf's back and ran as fast as they could towards the kingdom where Ivan's father was. They had got part of the way, but because they'd gone so far, it was quite a way to get back. They decided to stop for a time and then deliver the Firebird, and also introduce Helena to Ivan's father. Sadly, as they were asleep, Ivan's brothers were returning, and they were really angry at the fact that Ivan had managed to do everything that they didn't do. And so the eldest brother got his sword and he killed Ivan and chopped him into small pieces. Helena was screaming, obviously, and they said, right, we're going to take you back now with us, and we're going to say that we have found the Firebird, and we've also found you as well. So off they went. Padding through the woods came the wolf, and came upon Ivan in all his small pieces. And the wolf was so sad that he wept tears over the body of Ivan. Now, the wolf's tears were magical. They were beautiful, shining, glittering tears that dripped onto the body. And the wolf's tears contained the elixir of life, and it brought back Ivan from the dead. When he came round, the wolf said, okay, final task, you jump on my back now, we have to go and save Helena and the kingdom from your brothers. Well, the story went that Ivan managed to get back. Helena pointed to Ivan and explained what the brothers had done, and the wolf then made a meal of both of the brothers. So Ivan's father said, I can clearly see that you are the hero in the whole of this story, and you and your bride-to-be now inherit half of my kingdom, and I've prepared a special palace for you on the grounds. The final one is a picture of the castle. So that's a little story time as well. I have enjoyed doing this immensely, especially thinking of all the different prompts, and I've really enjoyed working with these Caran d'Ache fan colour, along with some of my gouache that I have in this old tin lid. Very posh, as you can see, and the outlining I did with the carbon pen and a little bit of this uni pin as well. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed seeing that as a little update. Please like and subscribe, click the bell if you'd like to see some more of my content. This was just a little added extra for this week because of Folktale week, so I hope you've enjoyed it. See you very soon. Bye for now.